Hello, my name is Natalia, and I'm a PhD student in the University of Valladolid, and I'm going to present you the multi-inventory forestry dashboard for visualization and analysis. First of all, I'm going to do a brief introduction about the National Forest Inventory in Spain. We have now 4th edition of this inventory. The first one is a bit different from the editions that come before. The first one, it was started in 1966 and is based on a temporary plot. And the second, the third, and the fourth one are based on a systematic sampling with a 1 kilometer per 1 kilometer grid in the forestry areas. So the thing is, when you use the information from the second, third, and fourth, you can see the evolution of these plots along the time. So in this case, we use just the second and third edition because the fourth one is not finished yet. And the data of this forestry inventory is available at the web page of the Ministry of the Ecological Transition and Demographic Challenge. And you can free download this data, but it's in different files and in different formats. In the case of the second edition, you have digital cartographic in save file, plot files and data processing in DBF, and publication tables in text. And in the third edition, you have 2 files per province. All the information is divided per province. And also you have the third edition integrated actually in the RDF that is also published by the ministry, but it's difficult to use it because not all the people knows this language. So there are another data set that is called semantic forest that use this information in RDF and have different applications. One of them is the Sparkle endpoint, where you can query directly the information that you want to download, but you need to know Sparkle. That is not very common in the forest sector. And also, there are 2 applications, NFI Downloader and the Forest Explorer. The first one is just for download the information of the second and the third edition of the inventory. And the third one is for visualization of the data of the second and also of the third. This is an example of the query that you have to do in the Sparkle endpoint, and this is for to know the information of one tree. And this is the platform on NFI Downloader, where you can choose you can have filters and choose what do you want to download in different formats. And this is Forest Explorer, where you can visualize the information of the plots for the second and the third edition. Having this in mind, we use the Forest Explorer application to do a dashboard of each plot from the second edition and the third edition, and a comparison of both of them. And the objective of this work is improve the accessibility of the information of the second and the third edition of the forest inventory. That's now is published by the ministry, but it's difficult to use it. And change the usability of this information because it's public and there is a lot of information that more of the time is difficult to use, and also do it in an interactive way so the people can view each inventory, the second and the third, and also compare both of them. This is the dashboard in the Forest Explorer platform. If you click in one plot, you can see a button in blue which say dashboard, and once you are inside of the dashboard, you can choose if you want to see the second edition or the third edition. And this one is the second edition, and you have the information of the plot data, the basic information like the source that give you the link to the original source, the official one, the capture date where the plot it was measured, the canopy cover, in this case is 75%, the altitude of the plot, the province, and now the municipality. In this case, it's in Palencia and in Olmos de Ojeda. This also can show you the tree information, like the species in the plot, the height, the diameter, basal area, and volume without bark, and 5-volt volume of all the trees that there are in the plot in the second edition. And also you can see the stock by species in the second edition, like tree density, basal area, volume with bark, and volume without bark in graphs and also in tables. And in this case, you can see that there are two species in the plot, Pinus sylvestris and Pinus nigra. And they are more dominant Pinus sylvestris. And you can see also the stock by diameter class, not only by species, for tree density, basal area, volume with bark, volume without bark. Also in graphical forms and in table form. So you can see that there is an irregular plot with trees with a lot of sites. And also you can click, instead of the second edition, you can see the third edition of the inventory. And you have more or less the same plot characteristics, where when the data was captured, the plot class, in this case, is an A1, that is, say that plot is in the same position that it was in the second edition. So you can compare the data as the soil use, the altitude, the province, and the municipality, and also the trees' characteristics and their measures, and the species of the trees. And this is an example that the same as in the second edition, the stock by species. In this case, I just saw the tree density. And you can see that there is Pinus sylvestris and Pinus nigra, like in the second edition, and also Quercus pyrenaica in this case, that it wasn't in the second edition. And you can see all the information also by a table. And also you can see the information, the stock by diameter class. In this case, you can see that there are the 3 species, and they are divided, distributed in different diameter class, and you have also the information by a table. So it's more specific value. And also the dashboard gives you the options to click if you want just to see one species, the distribution of one species, or all the species that are in the plot. And you can see also the comparison between the second and the third edition. In the second edition, you can see the trees that are in light blue. The third edition, the trees are in purple, and the trees that are measured in the second and in the third edition are in green. And you have the information of the basic information of the plot, so you can compare them. The difference between the one measure and the measure in the second edition and the third edition, it was like 12 years. So you have also the information with the measure of the trees, and you can compare the growth of these trees and the height, diameter, basal area, volume, with bark, without bark, and the trees that were in the second edition and not in the third, and also the trees that are in the third and not in the second, and the trees that in both of them. And also you can compare the stock by species and the stock by diameter class, and you can see that in this case the Pinus sylvestris and Pinus nigra decrease from the second edition to the third one, and Quercus pyrenaica appears, like we saw before. And stock by diameter class, we can see the distribution by sites of these species. So with all this work, this is a first version and a starting point of the dashboard for different stakeholders and researchers and managers to use it in the Forest Explorer. The future work that we want to do is collaborate with key users like researchers, technicians, and forest managers that use this information and what they want to see in this dashboard and what they want to use. And there are lots of information in the inventory that is not in these dashboards that we want to integrate also in it, like physiographical information of the plots, the tree damage, or the tree quality, and also incorporate other data sets like the fourth edition of the inventory when they will be finished, and other information like regional boundaries, like counties, and so on. And thank you all the people that work in this project, and thank you all for your attention.